With a big Week 9 matchup looming before us, the Detroit Lions headed into Lambeau Field. Historically, a place of nightmares for us, except for nowadays under Dan Campbell. We are now 3-0 at Lambeau, baby. 3 consecutive wins, and Kirby Joseph continues to make Green Bay his home away from home. Hello, Lambeau. It's Kirby Joseph, your daddy. Let's go. The Lions, big win on Sunday. Kings of the North sitting firmly in first place of the NFC North with a big 24-14 W at Lambeau Field. It was 4:30. It was America's game of the week. We had Tom Brady in the booth, and he even sided on with us on a bad call coming from New York that resulted in one of our best defensive players being ejected from the game. I share my thoughts on that towards the end of the video, you guys, but we did it. We did it against all odds. The weather wasn't in our favor. We're an indoor team. How's an indoor team going to fare in the climate? Well, we seem to handle just fine, even without Aiden Hutchinson and without Brian Branch. Our defense looked good enough against a less than perfect Jordan Love. Our run game got taken advantage of by Josh Jacobs regularly throughout the game, and it seemed that the Packers' game plan was to try and keep the ball out of the hands of our offense based on their opening drive that took up almost 10 minutes of the first quarter. But have no fear, you guys, because Ben Johnson is still here. And he, man, oh man, I feel like when they kicked Brian Branch out of the game, Ben Johnson and the offense got pissed. And they were like, oh, it's going to be one of those kind of games. I felt that. I think you all felt that. When Brian Branch got unceremoniously ejected from the game, and again, I'll share my thoughts on that at the end of the video. Stick around for that. I think we all were like, there it is. That is the stuff that they've been doing, the refs have been doing to, the league has been doing to us for years at this time. Not to, no pun intended, but they do try and kneecap us at every turn. And we were still able to come out the better team, even with statistically the best player on defense in all of the NFL ejected from the game for a nonsense reason. We still were able to pull it off because the problem is the NFL, with all their infinite wisdom, unfortunately kicked out the wrong safety. Okay, everybody knows that Kirby Joseph owns the Packers. Think back a couple years ago. What was Aaron Rodgers? Old man Aaron Rodgers. What was his very last play at Lambeau in a Green Bay Packers uniform? That's right, boys. It was an interception to Kirby Joseph. Week 18, we had nothing to win. We had nothing to play for. We couldn't win and get in because I believe Seattle had to win to get in to beat the Rams or something like that. I think Seattle had to win so that we could play games. They had to win and we had to win to get in. And, by the time kickoff happened a couple years back, game's already over. But still, we went out and we performed because that is the Dan Campbell way. And we've seen that now transgress over the past couple seasons. We have had the same mentality in and out of the locker room with our coaching staff, and now our players are 100% bought into it. We only search out a very specific style of player who buys into it, and you see the results. We own Green Bay in Lambeau. Lambeau should just change its name to Ford Field at this point whenever we come to town. They should have big Kirby Joseph hats that they wear because he's their daddy. All right, guys. Now that I've given you my opinion on my shortened opinion on the game, let's get into recapping the game for those of you that might have missed it. We've got an article here from prideofdetroit.com. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna break down we're gonna go quarter by quarter actually and break down the game. So if you haven't already, do me a solid. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Like the video if you enjoy the content that we're creating. Ring the bell so that you never miss out on any future updates from the Hat and Beard Show. We are growing at a exponential rate, you guys. I cannot tell you how awesome it is, the amount of growth we've had over the last week here. I love you guys for doing it. That's super duper awesome. Thank you so much for rocking with me. And last but not least, comment down below, what was your opinion on Brian Branch's ejection? Was that justified? Was that the league being ridiculous? Because I've seen significantly more vicious hits by players on other players here than that one that did not result in ejection. So I think it was BS, but again, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. All right, let's run through this here. PrideOfDetroit.com. Lions versus Packers recap. Detroit picks up statement win in Lambeau. It was a statement win. Look at that highlight. Look at Kirby Joseph with that beautiful pick six. Man, that was awesome. Now, in case you guys missed it, the game did kind of start off a little slow. It did pick up midway through the game. But I'm not going to blame you if you got to the third quarter and you just honk-shooed your way all the way through the game. I mean, it was a good game, but it wasn't as electrifying as we're used to seeing. The Lions faced off against the Packers Sunday afternoon in a battle for first place in the NFC North. But it was mostly just one team that showed up to the match. Yes, but the Packers did put up a fight early on. They just ran into a lot of issues. The Lions played solid fundamental football. The Packers were plagued with penalties, drops, and fumbles galore. After a critical mistake from Jordan Love near the end of the half, a pick six from Kirby Joseph, the Lions took a healthy lead and never looked back. Yeah, that right there is an absolute backbreaker. Right before the half, that pick six right before the half was an absolute backbreaker because the game was still within a puncher's chance for the Packers to be able to pull it off. But as we've seen Jordan Love do, now this is probably from inexperience on his behalf. He is known to not necessarily give up on plays, and you like a guy who wants to fight, but unfortunately, like in this situation we just seen, that did not work out for you. Jordan Love is a bit of a gunslinger, and he tries to make things happen, and he did. He made things happen for the Detroit defense. In the end, the Lions won 24-14. They're 7-1 on the season. God, does that sound weird to say, boys? We're 7-1. We're the best team in the NFC. And arguably the best team in all of football. All-around team. How awesome is that? The Packers fell to 6-8, and we now have and we have now won their last 3 games at Lambeau. It's wild. That's so wild to think of, man. I think about when I was a kid, man, and the Lions were just a punching bag, dude. It's so wild that we are just. It's hard to believe still, Like it's hard to believe that Dan Campbell, who was the joke of the NFL as a head coaching hire, and Jared Goff, who had been left on the side of the road, they traded him. Really, the Rams were more interested in doling out first-round picks to get Stafford. Jared Goff was really just an afterthought. And now Goff's about to be the league MVP. It's pretty crazy, huh? All right, first quarter. Packers won the toss and opted to receive. Green Bay attacked Detroit on the ground. Josh Jacobs picking up 22 yards on his first 2 carries. That was a little jarring at first to see a run game just go after us and have success. They got into a 4th and inches situation on the Lion side of the field. They converted direct snap to Tucker Kraft. They were in their bag of tricks on that one. I was really impressed with that drive, especially considering we're the Lions and we're known for doing those kind of shenanigans. I myself was like, all right, I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at the Tucker Kraft direct snap sneak. That was cute. That was cute. A 19-yard pass to Christian Watson moved Green Bay into field goal range. The drive ended when Jordan Love was unable to connect with Jacobs with pressure in his face, forcing Green Bay to go to kick a field goal. Packers go up 3-0. You're like, all right, they really ground the clock down. We gotta, if that's how they're gonna play and take the ball out of our offense, fine. Boat race me, bitch. Detroit responded with a very similar strategy. David Montgomery took 3 carries for 23 yards in the Packers territory. Then Goff hit Laporta on a 19-yarder in the field goal range. A draw play to Montgomery on 3rd and 4 set up the goal. Detroit set up 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. However, Detroit opted to run 3 straight times and only managed to get to the 5-yard line. And because the Packers sat on the ball for the majority of the first quarter, that was the end of the first quarter. Kickoff was at like 4:25, and I think the first quarter was done before 5 o'clock. It was one of them weird situations where like, oh, I waited all afternoon. Like, as a Lions fan, we're used to having 1 o'clock games, right? Like, the afternoon and primetime games are weird. So, like, I felt like all I did was wait around all day to watch the Lions play. And the first quarter went by like that, dude. Just like that. Second quarter, facing 4th and goal from the 5, the Lions opted to go for it. Big surprise. An encroachment penalty cut the yardage in half. Goff connected with Amon-Ra on a 3-yard touchdown catch early. I think this is the touchdown catch. See if we can play this.
They are.
Jesus.
Throwing.
Holy cow. Sorry about that, fellas. That was super loud. We'll have to work on that in edit. Here, check this out, though. And he's just going to find him. Doop. And there's another thing. Goff, Left 4 Dead. Dan Campbell, a joke, right? There's that tombstone bowling pin thing that he did. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a fourth round wide receiver, right? He's not supposed to be one of the best receivers in the league at the 4th round spot, right? That was a dope catch. The Packers continued to find success on the ground. I did not like the success that Green Bay had on the ground against us. Here you go. Oops, nope. No, I'm not gonna watch it on X. Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna open up Windows and stuff. I'm in the garage studio. It's hard to get the Wi-Fi out here, boys. However, a false start on 3rd and 8 and Love's deep shot into double coverage fell incomplete. A failed attempt to get the Lions to jump off sides on 4th down resulted in a delay of game, and then they punted. The Lions would start the next drive at their own 9-yard line, and then they were just like, all right, we're backed up, time to eat up all these yards, and it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs go at it. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but if you watch Jahmyr Gibbs stand in the backfield, doesn't he look like a damn serial killer? Doesn't he look like Michael Myers just standing back there ready to just kill somebody? He's just cold-blooded, man. Sonic is just cold-blooded. They'd quickly pick up a 12-yard pass to Gibbs on the next set of downs. Lions faced 3rd and 4. Goff was sacked, leading to their first punt of the day. I was very nervous about that. I don't like seeing Jared Goff get sacked, and I don't like seeing Penny Sewell giving up sacks, right? Penny. You're better than that, Penny. You're better than that, Penny. Penny. A good punt and a holding penalty pushed the Packers back inside their own 20-yard line because Jack Fox is the best punter in the NFL. The next drive, Jacobs continued to punish the Lions in both the receiving and rushing game. He was basically their only reliable weapon. He picked up 24 scrimmage yards to move the Packers to midfield. The Lions had the Packers on the ropes in a 2nd and 20, but Brian Branch got an unnecessary roughness call, hitting a defenseless receiver. Packers were given new life by that, obviously. To make matters worse, Branch got ejected for a hit and got hit with another penalty after that. Let's see if this will play. All right, so if you look closely there, this looks more gruesome than it is, right? It looks like he's leading with his head.
Oh, you can see.
But that is all shoulder meat right there. That's all shoulder meat. Look, doop, doop. I gotta turn the sound off so we don't hear Kevin and Tom Brady. Look at that. That's all shoulder meat. There's no helmet in that hit right there. If his helmet, if Brian Branch had hit him with his helmet would have a change of trajectory on it, right? See how his helmet maintains the same position? And then as the impact is being made to Bo Melton, I'm pretty sure it's Bo Melton, you see Bo Melton's helmet going back. You see how his helmet goes back? Just doop. See how his helmet is moving, but Brian Branch's helmet is not moving? That means he's not hitting you with his fucking helmet. He's hitting you with his shoulder pad the way you're supposed to. See? His helmet would be changing trajectory. You see that there? Now, let's get another viewpoint of it. Here we go. There's James Houston doing absolutely nothing. Oh, okay, that's the end of it. Yeah, we got a little highlight of James Houston doing nothing. That was a bullshit call. It came from New York. The Brian Branch got ejected from the game because we live in an incredibly soft society. Of course, it came out of New York. New York's a bunch of soft, pussy-ass motherfuckers, and I guarantee you the reason why Brian Branch got kicked out of the game and penalized again is because there was a fucking woman ref on the field, dude. Her panties got all twisted. She's soft as baby shit. We got to feminize everything. And that's why Brian Branch not only got kicked out, but then penalized again. And I'm sure the league will fine him for this, oh, so egregious hit. Dude, fuck you. It's ball. Even the greatest of all time, the best quarterback to ever play the game, he's got 7 rings on 10 fingers. Even Tom Brady disagreed with you. Are you fucking serious? All this shows to me is that regardless of how fucking good the Lions are, no matter how much money we generate for the NFL, no matter how much money we generate for the city of Detroit with tourism, games, the draft, Detroit will always be treated as a second-class citizen when it comes to the upper echelon of franchises in the NFL. Green Bay is one of them. They are the holiest of holies. Them, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, Those guys are always going to get calls going their way. They're always going to have the refs interceding because their market share is so fucking big over the years that the NFL has to do everything in their power to kneecap the better opponent that day to make sure that their elected and selected few teams who they deem the holiest of holies can have a chance to win, because in their eyes, the NFL is better when the Packers are winning. Go fuck yourself, all right? Fuck the Packers. Fuck the refs. I'm sorry. Get women refs out of the fucking game. They're too goddamn soft. They don't have fast twitch muscle response action to be able to pay attention to the game at the speed that it's being played. Get them the fuck out, dude. You're pussifying the fucking game. This is a man's game. Let the men play ball. And let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. Let's look at here. Here we go. Boop. There, he's making contact. Now, why is Brian Branch's helmet not moving? Why is Brian Branch's helmet not fucking moving when you hit him for targeting leading with his head? I don't give a goddamn fuck if you thought he could let up. If he let up, it would be a more unnatural instinct to the player and would have caused a greater chance for injury to Brian Branch and his opponent. He hit him clean. He hit him with the fucking shoulder. Why is his helmet not moving backwards? Look at that. Oop, nope, no movement by Brian Branch's helmet until after the energy has been. Come on, back up. Come on. Come on. If you look, his helmet doesn't move until after energy has been transferred from Brian Branch's shoulder to Bo Melton's helmet. So that's just a terrible fucking call on the field. That's a terrible call from New York. And honestly, and this is coming from me, this is going to sound weird. Tom Brady is right. Listen to Tom Brady. He knows the game better than y'all. Here's the thing. Head of officiating. If you were as good of a player as Tom Brady was, if you knew ball the way Tom Brady knows ball, you wouldn't be the head of officiating. You'd have been a fucking player. But instead, you're a theater kid playing as an authoritarian. So, fuck the refs. Fuck the pussification of the game. I am so sick of this shit. Smack like if you think the game is soft as baby shit, and that was a bad call on Brian Branch. A drop on the Packers' next drive, and the Packers' Brandon McManus pushed a 46-yard field goal. No harm done for the Lions. I call Brandon McManus, for some reason, I played so much Madden in my life, I call Brandon McManus Bart Dingus, and I can't unprogram that in my head. With about 5 minutes left, the Lions attempted to add to the lead. Goff started a drive with a 26-yard strike to St. Brown. Then Allen Robinson, crazy to see Allen Robinson out there, picked up a key 2-yard catch on a 3rd and 2 to help keep the drive alive. The Lions worked slowly to bleed the clock, but they got a little conservative in a goal-to-go situation, setting up a 3rd and goal from the 10. Goff spiked the ball into the turf when pressure was coming, setting up a chip shot field goal with 58 seconds left to go up 10-3, and the ballad of Jake Bates continues. Packers tried to add the lead, but Jordan Love made a critical mistake. He tried to force it, and this is something that will come with age. Alex Anzalone was coming in with the pressure because we've been blitzing like crazy. Let's watch this pick six. Come on, dude. No. All right, sorry, we're not gonna watch it. I don't like going and opening up links to watch videos because it takes too long with the Wi-Fi. Green Bay had 32 seconds to try and get points. But without their timeout in their pocket, they ran the clock out. So that was a backbreaker. That pick six is just a backbreaker before the half. Not only is it a backbreaker before the half, as far as morale-wise, but then when you have such few seconds left on the clock, Detroit gets the ball to open the second half. So it is a 14-point swing. The third quarter, and this is when you guys put your honk shoes on and decided to snooze your way through this game. You got to give them that honk shoe and sleep on that thing. Detroit started with the ball, hoping to add to their 2-score lead. Detroit moved to midfield, and a defensive holding penalty helped convert 3rd down. Gibbs nearly hit a home run with the 18-yard gain, but was tripped up. Then 4th and 1 on the red zone. Gibbs ran a 15-yard touchdown. Guys, sorry about the sound. Here's Gibbs' touchdown. Look at this. Oh. And the thing is like, only Ben Johnson would call rushes and draws on 4th down, 4th and red zone and score. He does it all the time because it subverts expectations. Hey, that guy. Oh, dude. This dude's hat. Yo, the cheese grater hat. Oh, bro. Dude, that is so sick. The cheese grater hat. Dude, the cheese grater hat is so fucking sick, dude. That is so sick. Smash like if you like the cheese grater hat, dude. The two teams traded 3 and outs from there. The Lions were backed up at their own zone. A 60-yard punt from Jack Fox moved the ball to the 25-yard line because Jack Fox is the best punter in all of football. The Packers finally got back on the scoreboard as Jaden Reed hit 32 yards down Lions territory. Reed converted a 3rd and 1 on a 3-yard catch. A pair of botched snaps doomed Green Bay, though they had to settle for a field goal at the end of the third quarter with a 24-6 at the end of the third quarter. That was something that kind of really, especially as the game went on. So Green Bay's starting center wasn't in. They actually moved their guard over to center, much like we do with Graham Glasgow. But you see, there just wasn't any chemistry between the two, between the center and quarterback. They continuously had botched fumbled snaps. Could blame it on the weather. I'm going to blame it on a little bit of both the weather and the harmony between the two. I'm not going to watch that. The Packers had to convert a 4th down, but this time they didn't. 4th and 1 was stuffed by the defense. The Lions took over the 9-yard line with 10 minutes left. And that was the nice thing is that, we kind of forced them to get away from the run game where they were having their way with us. We were able to force them, and we're just literally offensively and defensively forcing our will onto teams and making teams play the game we want to play. You can have a game plan. Everybody can have a game plan until you get punched in the fucking mouth, right? And that's what the Lions do. We just come out and we punch you in the mouth. Literally, what Dan Campbell has been saying since he showed up in Detroit. Every single thing Dan Campbell said he was going to do and make this team be, Dan Campbell has made this team be. He's delivered on everything. And now look at us, 7-1, best team in the NFC. Reeves-Maben did get hurt on that play, but he did return. So it looks like Reeves-Maben has been playing a little bit more of that Sam linebacker spot over Nowitzki. I feel like we're leaving Reeves-Maben more out as a cover linebacker, and we're using Nowitzki as, more of a blitz style, which is supposed to be the Sam's role is to do both. You're supposed to be good at rushing and good at the pass coverage. You're supposed to be an all-around athlete. We've seen Nowitzki, he's a little stiff in his hips. He's not as fluid as you'd like to see guys, and Germ has experience. He's also a captain of the team, right? Detroit's offense successfully bled some clock. St. Brown took a reverse trick play, lost 11 yards, and the drive was over. I was like, you're getting too cute with the boys. Green Bay took over at the 45-yard line with 6:22 left. And now Green Bay, I know what this feels like to be in this desperation mode, hoping that just convincing yourself that it's going to win. Because I'm a Lions fan, and I did it for decades. The Lions forced the Packers into a 4th and 4, but a taunting penalty from Amik Robertson kept the drive alive. Also kind of stupid. A few plays later, Emmanuel Wilson punched in a touchdown. And that's the shit part of it is you couldn't even give Josh Jacobs the touchdown. Wilson had to poach it. All you fantasy nerds. So with a little time left, the Packers attempted an onside kick and went out of bounds. From there, that's like, dude. This is the best thing you can have.
And he's got a great line.
This is the best thing you can do. Just hand it off. Just hand it off. Just milking the clock. Grinding out first downs. Hand it off to Monty. Grind that clock out. Oh, man, that cheese hat is so dope. That cheese grater hat is so dope. All right, so I know I said stick around to the end of the video. I kind of went off about the Brian Branch situation in the middle of the video. And I said what I said. I said what I said, and I'm not going back on it. I said what I said, and that's how it is. The league is too soft. The NFL needs to get females out of the officiating. And the NFL, whoever the head of officiating was that made that call from New York needs to be fired because when you slow it down, I know I don't have it pulled up. I'm just going to watch it again myself. When you slow that hit down, Brian Branch, oh, never mind. I can't even watch it. It's too backed up. Brian Branch did nothing wrong. If he'd have pulled up, he'd have hurt himself or Bo Melton. He didn't lead with his helmet. Again, I proved it. The tape doesn't lie. I have proved it. Share that around with your friends. I proved that through energy transfer, Brian Branch's helmet never made contact with Bo Melton's helmet. Because if he had, there would have been a transfer in energy and a reaction between the helmets. Brian Branch's helmet never fucking moved. Bo Melton's helmet was already moving, and Bo Melton's helmet was moving backwards, back and to the left, back and to the left. And I just don't understand how you can review it, look at it, and then still stand by it when Brian Branch clearly doesn't have a transfer of energy to his helmet. So, outside of that, great game by the Lions. I hope the league doesn't find Brian Branch. I hope we actually get an apology. I think Hattenbeer deserves an apology from the referees because I have proven your incompetence myself. I'm just some guy in his garage studio yelling at a camera onto the internet. So what do you guys think? I think it was an awesome game. We're sitting comfortably at the head of the North. Look, today's Monday, November 4th, right? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's November 5th. Remember the 5th of November, the treason and gunpowder plot. I see no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. It's also the trade deadline, right? And we all, I'm pretty sure, no, you got to remember, fellas, I drank a lot last night. So I'm pretty sure I seen an article that had basically said tonight or tomorrow, how's this? At this point in time, I would be more expected if Zadarius Smith was not a Lion by the trade deadline than I would be if he does become a Lion by the trade deadline. And I want it. Give me Zadarius Smith. It is the one thing our defense needs. We need more rush. We need more push. Clearly, Josh Paschal is too sick. He isn't going to do anything. James Houston is just a roster spot at this point. He can't do nothing. We can't rely on the push from the middle between Aleem and DJ Reader. They're not that they're athletic, but they're not as athletic as, say, a Hutch. That 1.5 second difference between the our defensive tackles getting a good rush and Aiden Hutchinson in the NFL is the difference between winning a game and losing a game, right? So we need rush help. I really hope Zadarius Smith is a Lion by the end of Tuesday. Yeah, so that's probably going to do it. Let me know what you guys think of the game down below. Comment if you thought Brian Branch getting kicked out was BS. Comment down below if you think Zadarius Smith is going to end up being a Detroit Lion. Guys, look, I know I don't normally do this. You already kind of know my take on most of this stuff and where I kind of sit. Make sure you get out and vote tomorrow, okay? Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go vote, right? It is your privilege as an American. And come here. Guys, we got to make it too big to rig, all right? We got to win the popular vote and the Electoral College. Make it too big to rig. And bring Big Donnie back into the White House. All right, that's going to be it for me. I've been Hattenbeard. You've been an attentive audience. Bonga bonga. Brig off.